What is going on, fellow co-creators? Good to see you all again. We are here for Chapter 2 of Tales of Dordania. And we are joined again by Hootie Owlicious. We're going to see what happened to him from last time when he got kind of eaten up. And where we left off last time was with Behemoth and Terrag just finished slaying the Cinder Spider, which gave them a little bit more trouble than they thought. And they're actually able to, after slaying the Cinder Spider, that's true though, they're able to successfully harvest a good portion and all the valuable parts of the Cinder Spider's body. And they have now made a small camp because it is about 6 p.m. in the evening. They have not decided yet if they're going to continue on their journey or if they're going to try to make camp here for a short or long rest. And that is where we will come into for tonight, is you guys have just finished slaying the Cinder Spider. You're kind of way out there. Ignore everything that's going on over here for current moment.
Yep.
You guys are kind of off in the land of, just Alacardia and, the lava rock and all of the...
Right, we're going through the wilderness. We're
going through
the army. Yep.
You're pretty much right in front of the scene, Stone, that you just saw your crazy, vision of seeing two people in a dungeon cell in the lab.
That's where I wanted to start off.
Okay, so good. What would you guys like to do?
Well, I wanted to inform him of the vision I had on top of the stone.
Go right ahead.
While we were attacking that crazy spider thing, I was on top of the stone and I saw a vision. And it was of two prisoners in some cells. That's all I really saw. I mean, I also saw the stone we're looking for. So we pay attention to those details, but that's really about the gist of what I know. And so my suggestion...
Terrag strokes his beard
and my suggestion
magnificently.
to you, as a fellow traveler on this journey, is that we take a rest, recharge our energies and everything we have, and then go off and seek out...
It's true, you don't have any spells left after your battle. I think you used all your spell slots.
It did.
Right.
But we figured after the rest that those will come back, right?
Yes, they will.
Well, that's why I'm suggesting the rest. This is like suggesting that before the rest is where we're making this decision.
I concur,
Okay.
but I'm hungry. I'm almost angry.
Okay. Fair
Smart.
enough.
You guys
I'm
should get some
game.
food.
No, that's
would
fair.
help with a little bit more health as well.
I do have some proficiency in animal handling. Maybe I can ensnare a squirrel or something.
There is no squirrels in Alacardia. That'd be nice if there was, though. That'd be cute. But that would be a
Can
little
we
bit
eat
long.
part of the spider without
You
dying?
can definitely eat some of the spider. Definitely, you can. After the tasty Cinder Spider snack, Terrag and Behemoth continued on their journey towards Chateau D'IF, and once they arrived, luckily there was no one in the main entrance point tower for the labyrinth underneath, and once inside, they actually found a rune key that revealed a hidden enchanted staircase going deeper. As you guys go over to the staircase in the somewhat corner of the room, you make your way down, and it transfers from nice kind of footsteps that you would assume are the enchanted footsteps to straight stone, and it's straight carved out of the earth itself. And it is a spiraling staircase going down. And you guys, your best guess is you're probably at least a good 100 feet underneath the surface, by this point, by how far you kind of traveled down the spiral staircase. And you kind of walk, and if you can grab characters, one of you guys. As you kind of come down the last flight of the stairs, it kind of opens, and the rocks for this instance go all the way to the ceiling. Okay. So you kind of, it opens up into a single kind of hallway. You see very, jagged, the lava rocks on both sides of you guys. However, you're a little bit deeper now, so you're seeing some different kind of shimmery stuff as well. Not full of gemstones, but definitely other type of minerals and things like that that are encrusted this far deep into the stone.
Okay.
And as you guys are kind of walking through, the entrance into this kind of hallway, you're not only not hearing much, but there's very dim lighting. There seems to be only a couple torches kind of lit throughout the way, which definitely alerts you guys that someone has been here or has at least lit the torches recently. What would you guys like to do?
I'll let you go first.
I was kind of like that.
I feel like I need to investigate a little bit more.
What are you trying to check for?
I don't even know that. Let me think about this for a second.
Okay, go ahead. It's dark, black rocks all around you. It's kind of cold, little damp.
I've got dark vision, and I also am kind of greedy because I'm young. So I'm kind of investigating what the shimmery walls are looking like.
Okay.
If there's anything valuable there.
Go You still have a feeling in your heart, though.
Okay, I'm done playing around.
That there's something here, but you don't know what. But you feel it's something.
I just dig it out. I just go.
Do you have any tools that you're trying to use to dig it out, or are you just going hands, or your axe,
no,
or are you?
I was thinking.
What kind of stuff do you got to simply get this thing out of?
Oh, I do have a crowbar. Let's go with the crowbar.
Okay, make a strength check on the crowbar, trying to pry this thing out of here.
Where the heck is strength again? There it is. Ooh, 21.
As Terrag kind of turns his back on you, and looks, again, kind of down the hall, and tries to kind of peer around the corner a little bit, you just break your crowbar out, and you just stick it in the rock and give it a nice pop, okay? Nice, just, and you're able to emerge. Now, real quick for everybody, if I give you an item in this game, hold on to that item. Because if later in the game you're like, oh, I had that one thing, that was that one thing, and I'll be like, the item. Do you have that item now? Because if you don't have that item now, you will not be able to either cash in, use, or manipulate said item that you are finding that I'm giving to you. It means it's important. You emerge a pinkish red, and it is a huge stone. And it has almost a glow to it. In the darkness, as you've emerged it now, it literally seems like this stone is almost glowing a little bit. It doesn't do anything to you. It just is a very gorgeous stone. You can almost see your hands holding it through the stone. It's so crystal clear. And it's just emitting this really nice pink, kind of softish red kind of color to it.
Okay.
Would you like to put in your backpack?
Yeah, throw it in my backpack.
Don't even tell Terrag I like it. He just puts it right in the backpack. Can
we investigate anything that's not physical in nature?
Like spiritual?
Yeah.
Okay. Make an Arcana check.
14.
So you have that ability, I don't know.
You feel that, again, this place is very dark. That this place wasn't a prison when Dracula had it under his control. This place was definitely used for something more menacing, and it may have, had prison elements, but there's something darker about this area. And you just have a sense, especially after hearing Abaddon's voice in your head, that not very many good things happened in this area, and this is a place of some kind of ancient, deep, kind of dark magic. What would you guys like to do?
I'm still game to move forward.
I mean,
I'm the adventurous type. I mean, there's a dark cave and I hear voices. Let's go.
It's scary as hell. But we got a mission to do. So
scary? What's that? I'm like 2 weeks old.
Fear?
Yeah, fear. What is that?
All right, so you guys make your way down the hallway, and as you get closer, move yourselves kind of like right up to the door there, kind of the little cell. Yep. As you get closer, you see a very small, about 3 foot 2 inches, to be exact. Looks to be kind of like you in the sense that he's a tiny little guy, but there's something off about him. There's just something kind of mysterious and almost kind of mystical about this character. You kind of come up to this cell, and he definitely is trapped in there. And you see him kind of just in the corner, almost kind of playing a game with himself, kind of some of the different stones, the kind of bricks in the walls. What would you like to do?
Who are you? What are you doing in here?
Hey! Our leprechaun artificer turns and sees 2 interesting figures that you have not seen before. A kind of average height, average build. Seems to be a man with kind of distinct, other, skinny features. His ears are a little bit pointier. His face is a little bit more narrow and kind of somber. He almost has kind of this weird, kind of dark element about him that you can kind of sense. And then you see this small thing. Again, you kind of have the same reaction he does, where you guys are similar to each other, but you're very different in the same way as well. And you don't really know what he is either, but you see these 2 people who have just approached your cell and asked who you are. What would you like to do?
Do I know Drax dead?
What's up?
Do I know Dracula's dead, or do I not?
You do not.
Sick. So I guess Drac hired the new help, huh?
You guys hear him say Dracula hired the new help, and you instantly determine that he assumes you guys are the new guards for Chateau D'IF.
I'm going to explain our quest.
Okay, go ahead.
Carefully.
Carefully.
I add.
Yes.
As Behemoth kind of looks at Terrag and mentions, don't, it kind of gives him a look of don't spoil anything or reveal too much.
We are on a
Like
mission
have a little wisdom.
to find something in this immediate area, or maybe not so immediate area. And I really think that you being trapped here for 20 flipping years, you might have some insight just from hearing the guards talk to help us on our quest. So if I free you, would you be willing to accompany us on said quest?
So can I sense that this guy's a little more evil than normal people?
No.
Dang it.
And as he says that, you immediately are curious who sent him on this quest. So you can go ahead and ask that.
Who sent you?
I'm not sure that that's important right at this particular juncture.
I mean, speaking based upon your bargaining posture.
Like, I'm not sure you are.
Yeah, you're in chains, dude. Like, so I mean,
Someone's pissing off the help. Someone's gonna have to give him a little bit more.
How I know it's not some lie? You're just gonna free me and shove me into a giant lava pit to kill me.
You don't know that.
Well,
Sick.
why would I do that when I could just leave you here to die on your own?
Exactly. I mean, I don't even have to waste my time.
It's a good question.
Response.
As they kind of ask these questions, you kind of think to yourself and realize
That's a
that
great idea.
if you want to escape, these guys are your best bet. They're definitely not guards by any means, and they definitely weren't sent by Dracula.
And we have
However,
no
you
ill
don't know
intention.
who.
We're just here.
But they seem like, if anything, they could definitely help you at least get out of your cell. And you may want to stick with them potentially for some of your lavish desires that you keep personally to yourself.
If you let me out, I'll help you find the mysterious thing you're looking for.
Upon this arrangement, Terrag and Behemoth figured out a way to release Kieran, the leprechaun artificer, gunslinger. And it took some time, not gonna lie. These iron bars held up a little bit, and Behemoth accidentally messed up the lock mechanism, which made it a little bit harder out the gate. But eventually they did get him out, and Kieran became... You are now free, little leprechaun man.
My name is Kieran. I'm a leprechaun man, an ancient, very short creature, which you guys do not need to bring up that often, who has a weird obsession with wealth and gold and likes to play a lot of tricks.
As our adventurers are making their way through the labyrinth, they have allowed Kieran to escape, and they have made their way through the first kind of corridor going into the deeper part of the labyrinth itself. They have then found Hootie Owlicious in another cell as a bloody pulp. And he looks beaten and tattered and torn as he was when we first saw him last. He was then healed by Behemoth by a greater healing potion, and Hootie then advised them that he needed a little bit of help getting out with the lock. Kieran stepped up to the challenge and revealed that he had a lock-picking kit that he is now able to use, seeing as such he is able to see the lock itself and able to actually go ahead and do the work. He goes ahead and does this for about 30 seconds and allows Hootie Owlicious to escape from his imprisonment. As Hootie escapes, everyone is in a excitement, kind of a reunion of the matter that Hootie has now rejoined the party. And as they do, they hear a loud groan. And to the left of them, down one of the corridors into this larger room, emerge two orcs. Now, these gentlemen aren't normal orcs, and none of you have actually even seen a normal orc, but you can tell that these guys don't seem normal in the fact that their eyes are completely glossed over, like white. And their skin is a very, very pale gray skin. Also, Terrag, you remember the fact that Theo had told you that orcs hadn't been seen in this area for honestly over about 10 years. And they were originally supposedly thought to be wiped out by Dracula himself. So you're seeing not necessarily vampire orc. You don't know what they are, but you see two very pale orcs that seem almost under a spell of control. And as they kind of emerge, they growl and see you both, and they start to charge.
Okay.
As they do so, go ahead. What's your
Do I
question?
recognize these orcs? Because they could be the ones that took the monkey, right?
You recognize that these are the orcs that you have been seeing for about the last year or
Second
so.
question. You said see them both. Who do they see first?
They first see.
Looks like it's me.
Looks like Terrag and Kieran. They first see Terrag and Kieran. As
Thank
you
you
guys
for the
all turn.
clarification.
Absolutely. As this orc charges you, Terrag, he kind of raises his axe over his head, and as he comes down, you see the eyes completely glossed over. It seems like he's not even aiming necessarily for you. He just swings the axe, and it goes right into his leg. And the orc himself takes
Nice.
2 damage.
Bonus.
Yes, and some orcs are gonna have to like, go for
As he does that, it doesn't seem to faze him. He doesn't even reach out in pain. He then turns the axe out of his leg and goes for an upward swing towards your face and towards your body. He still has a disadvantage on this one because of the turn.
Is that throwing him off balance?
What is your armor class, Terrag?
11.
He hits you, unfortunately, still with disadvantage even. So he is going to go ahead and turn that axe. As he brings it up, he barely nicks you up, but he definitely, you kind of lunge back and you feel it connect kind of right here into your shoulder a little bit. And you're going to go ahead and take, oh damn. I say, damn, son. Ain't that some damage?
You always get the brunt of this, don't you?
I do.
Fine, I'll save you again.
Oh,
I need to rack up some more
this
favors.
dumbass orc, he don't swing good. He hits you
It was
with
an accident. It was.
he hits you with 11 damage.
Ouch.
He just
God.
cleaves this axe,
Oh.
and it's a great axe.
It's like a reactive move. And
Just it is a great axe. And he swings it up, and it cleaves, up into your arm. And you feel it, almost nick the bone a little bit, you feel into your shoulder. And it hurts. That one definitely gave a blow. Your arm goes a little bit limp for a moment.
Do some Motrin
And the orc's not going to really do much or anything else with his bonus action or anything. He is just going to be standing right there in front of you. It then
Vulnerable
transfers
too,
over to, yes, for sure, he's definitely vulnerable to you. Your senses, and you stand up, and then you realize that you are on the back seat, and you're not in control of your body. And Abaddon has taken
dadgummit.
over
Isn't this a
It worked
Your
out
corpse
once or twice.
in that
At least once.
state that it was weakened in. And
then he
you
was
realize
like, "Again."
there's no chance of you are on the back burner right now, and Abaddon is fully in control. The rest of you don't really realize it, except for you, Kieran. You see this kind of dark cloud, almost form just out of the back of Terrag's person,
Head rolled the
and
wall.
you see his head kind of jart down, and kind of as he comes back up, he has these small horns that have kind of grown out of the front of his forehead. Only about 3 inches, long or so. But he's got these
Nothing to
darker
worry
orbs,
about.
and his eyes have rolled over to a jet black state. Completely jet black. With that being said, Abaddon,
This is good.
There's Abaddon. All right. And Abaddon, as he's taking control now of Terrag's body, he is going to go ahead and make a claw action against orc number 1 and 2. And as he does so, oh, that's gonna hit Slim. Oh, that's gonna hit hardcore. Oh damn.
So does he roll for Abaddon?
He's Abaddon.
Ouch.
Which is fine when he's attacking the other people, but when he starts looking at you guys, that's when it's dangerous.
I can hold this picture. I can't.
I kind of owe you one, so we'll see.
We'll see.
Almost
Maybe
like
I'll
you
help
build
you.
something. You don't have anything to build with. Or the time needed to build something.
Orc number 1, as Abaddon now claws and just does a lunge back and a swipe motion just across both these orcs' faces. I mean, he's going for the head. He just cleaves into this one. I mean, it's like the ultimate slap cam, just like smacking this dude. And he just bitch slaps him, I mean, literally over about 10 feet, and he's on his side now, prone to an attack for anyone who's close enough to him. Orc 2 gets kind of a backlash. I mean, his whole body gets turned from the force still remaining from Abaddon doing this claw attack. And again, these orcs don't really cry out in pain. They seem to not really be phased by necessarily this damage. However, you're seeing they're physically taking damage for sure, without a doubt. As Abaddon kind of does that and he's swiped over, he sees this cute little treat right here that is Behemoth, who's laying down and is prone to a snacky Abaddon. And Abaddon's going to go ahead and make a bite attack against Behemoth.
What do I roll?
Nothing. Oh, I just rolled in that 20. I'm sorry, bro.
Come
How am I still alive?
So, Terrag,
Demon's too strong.
Abaddon now, as he kind of swipes down, he looks to your kind of dead, your lifeless, unconscious body that's laying next to him.
I'm not unconscious.
And
I just slipped.
You just slipped. True. That's true. You aren't unconscious. You just slipped.
True. Let's be real.
You're right. You weren't unconscious. And you look up and you see Abaddon make his eyes linked with yours, and you realize Terrag is no longer in control in this state. The thing you just witnessed was like you saw with the magma ants, and he is in this otherworldly kind of persona. And as he does that, he just lunges right at you, going for your kind of neck, shoulder region.
For any kind of saving throws I got here?
You make a dexterity saving throw. Go ahead. Make a dexterity.
That's 20, right?
Yep. Plus your saving throw modifier.
Yeah.
Which is
8.
4 plus your... Okay. As he just lunges at you and just sinks his teeth into your neck, shoulder region, he literally like pulls out a chunk of your like body. Like he rips out like part of your muscle. And you go ahead and you take 5 damage. 5 piercing damage into your skin. He does that. He kind of lunges his head back and just, I mean, one mouth swallows this whole chunk of your shoulder that he's now devoured. And you're definitely hurting some hardcore. You have literally a part of your body that's just been ripped off of you. And then he is going to...
I'm not really blaming you, Terrag, okay?
Well,
this is all your fault.
Try and, give people health potions.
Abaddon is then afterwards going to just disappear.
Oh, sick.
And a cloud of smoke kind of appears above him and then just kind of envelops him and just kind of just comes over him, just encases him, and poof. Abaddon is gone for a second or so. So you know, Braden, combat, everything that's happening as I'm talking is happening within like a split second. Your turns obviously take longer, but everything in battle is happening like within, I think it's like 3.5 seconds of each other is how fast this is actually going on in the game. Okay. And with that being said, Abaddon's just wrecked poor little Behemoth. It then goes to orc number 2. So in the beginning part of this battle, before we even got to this point, both Kieran, Behemoth, and Hootie were actually able to get a couple blows in against these orcs, but weren't really able to do any permanent damage or really slow them down much. And after a while, Terrag actually got knocked unconscious, losing his ability to rein in Abaddon. And once Abaddon took over, I mean, it was, as you guys just saw, game over kind of for these orcs. And after only about another 2 turns, Abaddon was able to kill both the orcs. He also hurt poor little Behemoth and was starting to wreck some of his other friends as well. Luckily, though, Terrag was able to roll high enough and regain his conscious state and be able to put Abaddon in his place so they could continue their journey after the battle had been completed. You guys are all back to a conscious state.
Right.
To where the enemies have now been defeated. Terrag no longer seems to be under control. However, you all have not questioned him or deceived him. He's fully no longer under control.
I want to look at Terrag and be like, what the fuck, bro? Like, you basically killed me. And then just 5 minutes later, oh, here's some health back. Sorry about that 3 damage you still had.
Terrag, what would you like to say in response?
Well, it wasn't me. Like
So who was it?
What?
He played an awful song.
Well, that's right. 'cause
You, Kieran, start hearing this
Yeah,
arguing and
that's-
realize that this isn't
I
battle.
don't
So you
really
turn
know.
around.
All this like
So-
weird stuff that happens in the shadows, right? Like I watched him get sucked through a portal. I watched him like change into a demon several times, and no one else sees it though.
Because you're the
It's
chicken
like,
nugget bully.
It's like the timing thing, though. It's just crazy.
Plan. It wasn't me.
Incorrect. It was definitely
It
you.
was. It was at least your
That is
body.
false. I saw you do this.
So what you haven't realized at this point is that there's a, not possession, because we clarified that. Curse. There's a curse that I have. That
Looks like the same dang thing to me.
And when we're like, you're gonna tell your compatriots here about
well, I
this.
mean, they all know.
So
He
I know
points
it's-
at me and says,
So
he knew about it.
do,
And
you
Behemoth
tried-
kind of shrugs his shoulders, kind of like, kinda.
I've known him for 2
You
weeks.
don't
I
really
know
want
what
to
the
be
heck
brought
I'm
into
looking
an
at.
argument
And your
necessarily.
plan was to play him a lullaby.
Look.
I know how to do this.
There was no time to explain.
It works.
What do you mean? We've been trekking all over the place. There's been tons of times.
We've been trucking all over the place.
Right, you've been
in prison.
in a
I'm
portal
sorry,
somewhere. I don't even know where the heck you
I won't
went.
get sucked into a dimensional portal and then held captive.
Just saying.
Right?
And then only let out by my friend to immediately be killed by my friend.
To be healed.
So we're back at 0. Is
You know
what I'm
what?
telling
Let's
you.
work
Oh,
together,
wait, you remember
fellas.
that time I
As
saved
this all kind of happens, Kieran kind of rejoins the group and just kind of interrupts. So hold on, let me get this straight. You're being controlled by some demon,
I'm
and
2 weeks
you're
old.
you're some other demon, and you're
Wow.
too young
That's
to
awesome.
know anything. And you all kind of pause for a second.
I'm the same one here.
address Kieran and the fact that he's just kind of called you all out in your mental state.
Valid point. Valid point.
Hey, you know. So I'm gonna give up 4 of my rations, 1 for me and 3 for these. fellas.
Okay, Behemoth goes ahead, and after this debate has kind of been settled of Abaddon coming back to his full consciousness, and as you all are a little unweary of this, Behemoth tries to lighten the mood by opening his arms up with 3 full days of rations for the 3 of you, as he takes 1 for himself, and you all enjoy some kind of cardboardy tasting, decent rations. But
Breaks.
you
It's not a
are
rat.
realizing that it is nutritious.
Not a rat.
Everyone gets healed back to full health. So if you're not already at full health, everyone go get healed up. You hear that deeper in the labyrinth there is some stirring. And it sounds like someone is coming your way, but you cannot determine how far away they are or how close they are to you.
You're an awful word. I'm just gonna sorry.
How far in the labyrinth are we?
You're
We're
not
like 35
super
feet.
deep into the labyrinth. You're pretty close to the beginnings of it. You're kind of just starting your way kind of in.
So, I hear a stirring, like, in the deep. And you guys are all like wanting to take a little nap. So I suggest we backtrack a little, maybe build a fire or 2, and then take watch and take a rest.
Cole, you can back up.
I'm fine with that.
You head back through the corridor that you all had come through, and you find yourself next to the cell that you had found Kieran in, and you kind of make camp about halfway down the corridor, kind of behind the main kind of entrance of this rock, kind of in between the 2 smaller corridors, and you kind of set up a very mild camp, pretty much only to take rest as needed. And with that being said, that is where we will break for this evening, and that is where we'll end Chapter 2 of Tales of Dordania. Thank you all for watching. To kind of recap what has just happened, after our battle ensued and everyone realized that Terrag is now no longer under the control of Abaddon, we have decided to take a short rest closer to the cell that we have found Kieran in, as that it is a little bit further away from the potential threatful sounds that Hootie has just heard deeper into the labyrinth. The gentlemen are going to try to take a short rest with their party and heal up and regain a couple things before journeying further into the labyrinth. And with that being said, thank you all for checking out another episode of Tales of Dordania and what we got going over here at Co-Creations and all of our cool 3D printed nonsense. I hope everyone's had a fun time watching, and other than that, we'll see you on the next one. God bless and have a great night.